All right, everybody, how y'all doing? This is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina here with my friend Timothy Smith. Tim, I can't wait to get to the part to where we talk about you hollering at me and I quit swing out. But just
I remember that. I do
talk about it
remember
on
that.
every video. Every time I can, I say it on video. I be like, yeah, I quit it first because Tim hollered at me. I said, we cool now, but he hollered. So, but
No
anyway, guys,
passion. That's a little
the first,
passion.
oh yeah, I guess. Guys, I want to first give a disclaimer that the opinions and the opinions of the viewers and the guests on my show, they're their opinions. They're not necessarily mine, but I want to make sure that I put that out there from now on at the beginning of the show. And let's go, Tim. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Oh, yeah, I grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana. Went from Shreveport,
Really?
Louisiana to St. Louis, Missouri. From St. Louis, Missouri to back to Shreveport to the military. Lived in Chicago for about 12 years. Lived in St. Louis for about 15 years.
Oh, you've been all
So
over.
I've been around. I'm old. I'm older than Jerry.
You're not though, really, are you?
No.
Oh, okay, that was a
He
joke.
got
Okay,
me
I had to
about
make
he
had
got
to
me
make
about
sure.
3 or 4 years.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go to school at though?
High school. I went to
Hmm.
high school in St. Louis, Missouri, Pattonville Senior High School, and
Okay.
then I went to Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Okay. Then where did you go to the military? When did you do that?
I actually joined the military from Shreveport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And so
drop
you,
out of school, go in the military type thing.
okay.
Hurry up and get gone.
Ready to get out that house?
Oh, who couldn't wait?
So how did
Couldn't
you
wait.
feel about the military? Like, was that something that you really enjoyed? Did you make it a
Well, after
career?
after 25 years, I'll do it again.
Oh, okay. So you did make it a career.
Yes, no doubt.
Oh, wow. Okay. What branch?
Navy.
Oh,
Navy.
okay.
Hmm.
Water. My little cousin is
Hmm.
in the Navy now.
Is that right? Tell them I say
Hmm.
happy Navy life.
Happy sailing.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So you retired from the Navy?
Yeah, yeah. I retired. I retired in '05.
Okay. Was that around the time you came here?
Well, I lived in Houston. I moved to Houston in '98.
Oh,
As a matter of fact, I got stationed in Houston in '98. I actually
oh.
I actually left Houston around 2004 and went to Dallas.
Okay, that's how you end up in Dallas.
Right,
So
right,
you're
right.
not, I think a lot of people, because I know I did, I just thought you were from Dallas.
No, no. I lived in
Yep.
Houston a whole lot longer.
Oh
Amber
gosh.
Shadow, right behind the Walmart. Matter of fact, everybody know where it's at. The Walmart off of Wallaceville and Beltway.
Yeah.
Walmart there on the
That's where we catch the bus for the casino.
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
Popular one. So when you left here to go to Dallas, what made you leave Houston to go to Dallas?
I got a reassignment. I got
Okay.
assigned to Dallas as the district trainer and the chief recruiter there.
So
Right.
where did you find dance at?
Well, guys, I've been dancing all my life,
Okay.
and part of one of my responsibilities was during the military ball time of the year in the Navy. I was the dance teacher.
Okay, so you said you've been dancing all your life. What kind of dancing? Like you did regular dancing or did you do partner dancing as well?
Well, partner dancing is basically what we focused on as kids. Uh,
Okay.
we did partner dancing. If it wasn't even in Funky Chicken, we held hands doing.
Well, I would like to see that.
Oh yeah, we were holding hands doing the Funky Chicken.
That
I
is
think
so funny.
mainly my little sister got me to dancing, and then in school I took a dance course, several dance courses as a matter of fact, and
Okay.
it was just interesting.
Okay. So how did you find this world of Dallas swing, DFW swing,
You know
whatever it's
what?
called?
When I was exploring my next duty station, uh, keep in mind I came to Houston and I was stationed there, but as soon as I got there I was trying to leave. So going to Dallas, back and forth to Dallas, exploring my next duty station for promotion purposes, is where I really discovered swing. I was used to West Coast swinging, and I
Oh,
was used to doing a little Chicago bopping, but I
okay.
had never seen swing out. I got addicted. There was over at Club Ice was the name of the place. That was
Boy, that's a popular spot.
oh it was real popular, and I
Yeah.
think this was right around 2000, right at 2000. I think Willie Hitman Johnson, the guy that passed away. You know Willie.
Yeah.
He was teaching there. Him and Lois Knox,
Okay.
and I took class there, and then I had a brother that was teaching over in Dallas, Tracy.
Okay.
Tracy and I got into the dance, and Tracy, I just went to his class to watch. And
Okay.
he had the largest class in the DFW. I mean, he's not a dance instructor. He's not even a swing out instructor. He got a title called the teacher. we don't call him the dance instructor or swing out instructor. We call him the teacher.
He just dances? I mean,
well, he taught swing out at Fat Cats up in Dallas, and
okay.
he had to rotate his classes in and out, and that's what made me want to teach.
Wow.
That attention made me want to teach.
I think that's what bring a lot of people into this dance, to be honest with you. Men. Yeah.
That attention. Well, not only that, I Dallas area, Jerry Palmer, he was teaching over at one of the clubs in Arlington, and Jerry expressed true leadership teaching his classes, and that's another thing that addicted me to the dance, is that how he was teaching, how fast and rapid people would pick up what he was teaching them. That got me too. But swing out had a different language than what I was used to. I was used to West Coast swing, and the language was totally different. So I joined the class over at Club Ice, and I went to class every day, and it was hard getting an adjustment to the count, because the count was 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. It was really hard for me to get adjusted. If they would have said 1 2 3 and 4 5 and 6, I'd have been right on the floor. But I just did not understand it. But Lois and I, when Lois took me to the side, she was the assistant instructor. She took me to the side and helped me out a whole lot, and got me to get the dance and understand the dance the way it was done in Dallas. There was no there was no broad social understanding of dance in Houston. It was more or less, to me, what I saw was one side of town would dance a certain way, and the other side would dance another way. And it wasn't like that in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or even in Chicago. It wasn't like that. Everybody did the same dance. So I thought maybe I can do a little bit better job, and I did. I think I did.
And let me ask you, so it was stated that your thought, and I just want to ask you, was this your headspace? Was this strategic what you did?
A lot of it was. That was a very good question. I like that. But yes, a lot of it was just straight up strategic, to develop a social atmosphere for dance. That was my sole goal right there. And I think I was looking for. I was looking for leaders. That's what I wanted in the class. I wanted leaders in the class, and
that makes sense.
I found some good leaders in there.
I
found some good leaders. Just to throw a few names at you, I found Lisa, Brenda, Clyde. Oh, Clyde was clown.
Did you get to see that video yet?
Which one?
The one with Houston Bayou.
I saw probably 3 minutes of it, and I was busy during the time I was
you got to go back and watch it. Clyde is so funny when he talks about how he met you.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What did he say?
He said, man, I was out and we were trying to learn this two-step stuff, and I saw this man and he was cold. I was like, Mary Joanne, we got to learn to do that.
Let me tell you what got Clyde. What got Clyde was the word free. That's what got Clyde.
They said that too.
Come on now.
But it was free.
Yeah, that's what got Clyde. Anything free, he was down for it, and he was committed. He was committed, boy. He was definitely committed.
I think that might be a little the difference. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, I think that might be a little of the difference too. At that time, in my opinion, what you brought is people who would be committed. So when you say leaders, I think that's kind of, and I don't mean to offend anybody, so don't call me and don't text me, but I think that might be a little bit of what's missing here versus just everybody teaching. And you chose like Joanne. Joanne is a natural leader. You know.
She's a natural leader, and not only Joanne, Brenda was a natural leader too.
Absolutely.
Lisa, I think everybody in the initial instructor class was definitely leaders. I think I had the same time I was doing a class over at Blue Ocean. I was doing one at Gregory's.
Oh
yeah. And I think Marcus was in that class. He was really the only leader. He was really the only male leader in that class, but there was a couple other people in there that graduated, even when Marcus graduated, that were I considered leaders. And so the whole plan was to give everybody an instructor certificate. That was the goal, to get them out there, do the thing.
Was it also the plan, from what I've heard, is to get the classes spread all over Houston. Was that part of
Well,
the
you know
plan?
what? You know what, Trina? I'm so glad you said that because I've heard a lot of people say Jared Palmer was the first person to teach in Houston, first person. He really was. Let's let him
Yes.
have that.
And I meant to say that,
But
guys.
here's
My
what he
disclaimer
wasn't.
is shout outs to Jared
Uh,
Palmer.
Jerry's good. Jerry, ain't no competition between Jerry and I.
Not
Trust
at
me.
all.
I tell you what, the King of Swing gets no competition for me. Let that be on record.
Yes.
Okay,
We
but
love Jerry.
Jerry taught in Houston, but the instructors that went on after me, they taught Houston. Big difference. Jerry taught in Houston, they taught Houston. And that's why Houston dance community is so big now.
We do love Jared Palmer. No competition there. And we do give him shout outs for bringing the dance to Houston. We definitely give him shout outs for that.
Well, you know what? If you know, I don't know what he did there. I wasn't in his class. I wasn't participating,
Right.
but I know he testified that he did that, and I not take nothing from him. He did.
Absolutely.
But he taught in Houston. But
Okay.
the UpScale Swing Out, in my opinion, the instructors that ventured out from there, they taught Houston. They literally taught Houston. And if you look around, it's people are dancing now because of them. And
Tim, I have to correct you there. We all say it. We are dancing because of you. You had a vision.
I can
And it's
appreciate.
okay for you to accept that.
I can appreciate that, and I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. But you know what? You water the flowers.
Yes. Right.
So the person that watered the flowers is nothing. The flowers are growing. So the water is more important.
Okay. I accept that. So
But,
I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. So the first place that you were teaching here was Blue Ocean, yes?
Yeah, that was the first
Okay.
place.
And so, but you were out dancing somewhere. Where is it that Clyde saw you gliding across the floor?
It had to be over, either it was over at Blue Ocean or there was another little place off of 36635. Right over by the Galleria.
Okay.
It had to be somewhere over there.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but Clyde said he saw me dancing across the floor.
Glide, no. He said gliding and spinning. And he was like, whatever that is he doing, that's what we got to do. And it's free.
My.
The story was,
it could have been
when you found them, you would teach them for free.
Yep.
If they, wait a minute, don't tell me.
Oh,
if they started being a teacher.
They had to be teachers.
Yes,
they had somewhere, and I would try and find them somewhere to teach. If they can find it, that was fine. But they had to commit to at least a class, and they did. Believe it or not, they committed to a lot of classes.
Wow, yes.
You know, when I look at the commitment that Houston had for learning the dance, the community was just as important as the instructors. The community was hungry to dance.
Definitely.
And that had a lot to do with it. A lot to do with it. Not to say that, don't get me wrong, I had some opposition there. A little opposition. One of the first people there that I know of, in my opinion, to embrace swing out was Sir Rodney and his wife.
Yes.
And he already knew how to West Coast. He knew how to dance, and he embraced the swing out. And a lot of the times, as my classes was growing, I would ask them to go over and let him teach them some more stuff, you know.
Yes.
Or anybody that would help me out in the dance community there already that was great. That's what I wanted. You know, learn everything and every dance. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna call them my instructors from now, because that's what they were.
Yes.
Learn everything and every dance, and they did. So if you see them dancing, you might see them doing some of everything.
Their students hostage. The one thing I appreciated about my foundation was that y'all wanted to give us the foundation, but you also wanted to send us into the world to learn other stuff. You weren't scared that somebody was going to steal us. You were like, yes, go to Rodney, because y'all remember y'all sent us to Rodney so we could learn some more advanced moves. And of course, I end up going to Rock. But that's something I appreciate, and I think that's something that we're missing as well, is that, you know, I think we should be able to take other classes too, because it does nothing but grow the dance and grow your experience and your, what do you call it? What other word would you use?
Let me share with you what that did, though. Okay. The people I graduated taught beginners, and they taught other people how to dance, and they kept growing and growing. But look how many more instructors they developed. And in fact, one of the guys down in Houston, John.
Yes.
I would say is a competition dancer.
Absolutely.
So it may not be that that I taught him, but as they reached out and got other skills from other people, that made him develop into the dancer he is. And he's not just a good teacher; he's a good dancer.
He's a very good dancer. Very good dancer.
So that's what that does. By sending people out,
developing your skills more.
Yes, sir.
Advancing. Well, and it's funny, John's teacher, I don't know if you remember her, but Priscilla was actually in our class at Stilettos. And Priscilla ended up teaching John. So yeah. It just stems off of that.
Brenda taught Priscilla, right?
Yes.
Brenda? Yeah, Brenda taught Priscilla, and yeah, I remember Priscilla very well.
Yeah. So, and she's doing very well with her classes, but John came out of her class.
Rodney something.
What?
I gotta get into what I thought was the first person that was impacted by swing out to the point where they would leave town and go learn swing out, and that was fancy.
Yes, yes.
And, man, they would drive all the way to Fort Worth, and
it was on a regular, from my understanding.
Once a week, they was in my class, literally. I can't say that it was in my class because instructors back then, we didn't say another instructor was in your class. We just said participated. They helped out.
Okay, gotcha. They and someone did correct me on that, because one time I was told that they were the first teachers here in Houston, but then later I think I met when I met with Liddell last week, he told me about that history, because I had that a little backwards. So basics. So when you decided to start having this class, it was free. Yay for free. Until we had the graduation, which was still cool to me. But in regards to the basic steps, there were 6. I think it was 6. Well, however many there were. But you gave us 3 months to learn that.
Yeah, you didn't stay in class a year.
Yes.
Well, no such thing as no year class.
Yeah. Well, 6 years now. But
instructors started doing that to keep to allow the class to grow and build to be high number class, so that the graduation impact on each student won't be as much. That makes sense?
That does make sense.
I think that's why they hold them so long. But I don't think that's good, because you graduate people on different increments: beginners, intermediate, and swingers. Yes. So in holding them that long, what are you trying to make them learn how to dance? You give them the basics and let them learn how to dance.
Well, can I tell you, and it's no secret from anybody how I feel about it. I think it's money.
You think?
I know. Yeah, I do. So I won't dwell on that, but yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not going to say every teacher, but there are some. There are. It's plentiful. I will say that there are a few I could think of that that won't happen, but otherwise, it just doesn't make sense to me not to say.
Well, initially, I can say, Trina, that it had nothing to do with money.
Right, exactly. Well, it was free.
Brenda and Mary and Joanne used to tell me, it's about the dance. They used to always get me that it's about the dance.
That's why the slogan began to be "Just Dance."
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was Just Dance. So anyway, first of all, I think it's definitely cool. But Joanne and her in the video, she did explain. There is gas money people have to do. People have their time. When we have the graduations, even though we sold the tickets for $10, that was really the only money, and we really didn't have to come out of our pocket for that. We were able to sell to, sell to our family. How do you feel about graduations? It's been said here, a lot of people don't really have them anymore because it's been said that it's a false sense of completion. I disagree, but what do you think?
I think graduations gives you a certain amount of confidence. And I think they are very important to the development of a dancer, a social dance. So I don't agree with that false sense. Right. I think it helps you with your confidence. And that's what it's all about.
Right. Okay, I agree with that.
About it though, we're social dancers. One of the most important things for people to do as a social dancer is to dress up and go somewhere.
Yes.
So why am I going to wait 2 years to go somewhere? I want to go now, you know. So, and that's part of it too. It's to give everybody something to do.
And then also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And show everybody what you're doing.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Show your family and friends and even your children what you've been doing for those from 3 months to 6 months. Where you been every Tuesday and Thursday night. You need to tell your husband where you was at. I'm gonna need to know what you was doing. So it became a time to where 3 months was not quite enough to get everybody to really get a good foundation. So it went to like 6 months, I guess. I think it was 6 months.
I have no idea who took it that long, but I don't know. I have no idea. But I know a lot of times when you teach somebody, you there? I think your phone. A lot of times when people come to class, if you have, let's say you have 20 students, and at any given time only 4 show up for class, and it's never the same 4. Well, maybe take you 6 months to graduate their class. But we didn't have, our students came to class. We came to class. We were motivated. And that's where leadership come in. If the instructor's not motivating the students to come to class, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to take 6 months. That means he may be a good teacher of the dance, but he's not a good motivator.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes motivation can go too far and make you say, I'm not doing this no more.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, everybody. Tim hollered at me at Blue Ocean and I was gone. I was out of there. See, I should have been in the first graduation. I should have been the first graduation. You messed it up for me.
I'll come back when Brenda started teaching.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Mama Brenda. After that class, after you graduated, I guess the first couple of classes, what did you decide to do then? Why did you stop teaching, or did you stop teaching?
Well, I transferred, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And I was having some issues with my students going venture out. It was like I guess you can say it's like this. I missed the attention.
Gotcha. That's big of you to say, and honest.
I wanted my attention too.
Yeah.
So, but they had it, and that's what that was my main purpose. They had it. They was growing it. They was doing what I wanted. So I had to take a step back and say, wait a minute, let's let them do their thing.
Yeah. I
had to take a step back, and that's what it was.
Yeah. So now, do you step back? Now, when you step back and look, are you proud of what you did? Do you even realize the impact that you made?
Forget me. You
can't tell.
You don't understand. These instructors went out. We are actually talking because of them. They carried. You can take Trump to the White House, but it don't mean he's president.
I was gonna say, can we not take him? Can we
that don't mean he's a good president. We want to throw him back. You wouldn't want to throw these back for nothing in the world. Those instructors did the thing. They did.
And I understand what you're saying. I do, but I interviewed them already, and they've talked about what they've done. I want to make sure that you understand, because I think it's very important that you understand that yes, you did make an impact. Yes, those Brenda, Marcus, Lawana and Marcus still rolling. What's your Felicia, and you Brenda. Not Brenda, who is it? Joanne.
You got me? Water.
Yeah, you gave them the water.
They rode with it.
They did.
They with it. And you can't take that away from them. I'm not going to
guys, I want anybody watching this to know Tim really appreciates you. But Tim, what I do want to say,
man, they get it.
What I do want to say though is, go ahead.
I can dance if I go to Houston.
What you mean?
I can go somewhere and dance.
You can't go and dance in Dallas?
Yes.
I don't know what that meant.
15, 20 years ago, let's say 16 years ago, you couldn't do that. You had to be from Houston.
Oh.
And be a part of the area. You had to know how this area danced.
Yeah.
Prior to that. Now, see, we're thinking about just the people they taught. What they did was they impacted the entire city.
Absolutely,
of how they taught dance, how dance was taught. You got Red, the father, all of those guys, they taught 101. And they were good. But mostly in mostly what it was though is that if you learn with Red, you was good. You learned with your father, you was good, but you was a part of that little area where they danced at, and and you really couldn't dance if you went across town because they didn't dance like you.
Yeah.
Well, the swing out community, they even got that together. Now in the two-step community, you two-step, you can dance with anybody. You know, swingers, they can dance with anybody, and even more so now in Houston, almost everybody that swing can step.
Yeah.
Everybody that step can swing.
Yeah.
That's big. It
is. And you know what else? I always bring this to people. Remember Desiree? Remember Club Desiree? So remember they used to have that floor split in the middle? And I used to, it was like swing out people here and the two-steppers there. The biggest, most impactful thing to me was when you saw people mix it up and everybody was dancing with everybody, because it was definitely resistance. It was definitely resistance when swing out first came here. You know, I don't want to do that Dallas thing. What they called it, the 6 count or the 8 count. But after a while, it merged.
Right. It's a dance community now.
Yes.
Can't say
Absolutely.
It's a dance community, and that's what that was the goal.
That was the goal.
That was the goal. Dance community. You know, of course, everybody had their little things going on, but the goal was to make it a dance community, and that's what could benefit the whole city. People that didn't go out now go out.
They actually go out. And it's funny because Barry, remember Barry?
Yeah, I know Barry. Yeah.
So Barry, for years, we were going to Club Divas, and I'm looking at him drink all the time. I thought he could drink. They was drinking. Kind of find out Barry don't drink nothing but cranberry juice. But
soda.
I said, well, I was thinking you was throwing back Grey Goose and cranberry. That's only.
No, his name Barry, not Tim.
Exactly. But I say that to say people like that. I was saying that to say people like Barry, people like even Murphy and what's his name, Nathan. You know, preachers. They were able to come out and do their dance and still keep their. You know, I don't like history to be erased. And which is why it's so important. Some of the people that I interview, that's why I want to interview those people, because I want to make sure that you guys are able to tell your story, because we hear stories about people and it's great, Tim. It's great to hear about this person, that person, but I always think about, there are some people I don't see. I don't hear their names. I'm gonna need you to know what Joanne Ford did for this dance community. I'm gonna need you to know what Brenda and Clyde, I'm gonna need you to say those names. We can't forget those names. I'm gonna need you to say Tim Smith. You know?
Well, guess what? It's gonna be there.
What is there now?
When I see somebody dancing, I promise you I see something I taught them.
Absolutely. I get that. And I get that. I just want to, again, and this is just me, because I am I like biographies and autobiographies and stuff like that. So that's another reason I started Chat with Trina, because I wanted to do that. I like to know where people come from. I didn't know Liddell was the only child until I interviewed him last week. So that was it. I told him that's why you spoil. Of course he didn't feel that way, but
you threw the spoil on him.
I threw it on him. I threw that on him. But he's actually an awesome guy. And then sometimes people get to see a different personality through this, you know, get to see the human side of people. Even with you saying that, you know, I mean, to hear you say what you said was very transparent. And I totally respect that you're able to say what happened to a certain extent. And I think we all get like that. I felt that way, like they forgetting about me. You know what I mean? I felt that way before.
No.
What? You're not asking me. You said a lot of great things. I'm not going to let you off the hook that I'm going to give you these kudos. I mean, it just is what it is. We fought. We fought. So,
it's something I like to say. Just something very important. You know, I'm not gonna let Liddell off the hook.
What Liddell did?
Off the hook.
What?
Liddell and I are very good friends, and we've always been.
Yeah.
And, what he used to be really funny to me, because he's a hardcore instructor, sort of like.
Yeah.
He would criticize everything you did. And one thing he criticized me on, not directly, indirectly, was the count of the dance. He got me. Oh, I had my student Liddell say that's not right. Liddell said that's not right. Oh my goodness.
You know, people don't play about their teacher though.
Oh no, he didn't play. No, he had the students scared. Oh, yeah, I'm scared. I'm not doing it right. Liddell said it right. No, you got to straighten him out, boy. I'm not letting him off the hook for that. He's scaring him.
But you,
No.
that was a big deal in itself. The count when the count changed.
Well, let me throw that out there for you.
I shouldn't say when it changed, but
it's a rhythm. Forget a count. A rhythm with a certain number of beats. Okay, so if you use that philosophy, the rhythm is the same in Chicago stepping, the rhythm is the same in swing out, and the basics of West Coast. It's a rhythm, and you can say A B E F G E F G. I don't care what you say. It's still a rhythm. It's still a rhythm, and in all three dances, it's 8 steps. It's 8 steps, and regardless, we're not even going there. The bottom line is he criticized my students and our students. They were our students. He criticized our students and had them scared. I can't count like that. Dale said I better say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm scared, man.
No, we were saying with you guys, we said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. With Liddell, I did 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
Right. Well, that was going toward the West Coast movement.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay.
My count to make it easy for everybody was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. Yeah.
That made it easy for everybody. And I mean, because it's 8 steps, so count every step.
Gotcha.
Made it easy. Especially if you were trying to, if you had a big class and you were trying to get everybody on the same page at the same time, that made it easy.
It made it easy. Okay, so you had a rationale for that. Do you have any regrets?
Yeah. No.
Can you give me one? Because you sound like you got a lot of one.
No, I really don't. If I could go back and do it all over again, the only thing I would do different is get out of the way a little sooner. Okay. I would get out of the way a little sooner because the instructors that went forward, David Smith, all those guys that went forward, Marcus.
I forgot about David.
I didn't forget about him. All those cats went forward and they were leaders. And me trying to stick in there with them at that point when they was going forward was actually holding them back. It was actually, I was doing I was holding them back, and that wasn't good. But it didn't stop anything because I realized that being from the military, I have to recognize myself as somewhat of a leader myself. Sometimes you have to self-assess and analyze yourself. Doing that,
I was always told to be a good leader, you have to know how to be a follower as well.
You can't follow, you definitely not a good leader. Just don't follow fools.
That's so funny. That is so true.
So
true. That's more true than you know. With this pandemic that's going on, has it affected you at all?
Not personal. Well, not personally. I have a. Well, it has affected my family.
Okay.
Right. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And we'll leave it at that.
Okay. So dancing, we've had to slow down on that, of course, which is for some of us.
Wear your gloves. Wear your mask.
That's what I was about to ask you. So that would be what you would suggest for the new normal? Do you think that's where we're going?
You know what? What I would do is I'd take some temperatures on the way in.
A lot of the clubs are doing that.
Yeah, just take the temperature on the way in, come on in, and do what you do. And let each individual, if they come, decide how they're going to social distance from that point. That's what I would do. But I won't be there.
I was going to say, if you were an instructor, though, would you, what word can I use? Would you encourage them to wear the gloves, though? Because you don't want to be responsible for getting them ill, anyone ill. If
I was an instructor, I would say you have to bring your partner.
Okay, that's fair.
You have to bring a partner.
Okay.
Yeah. That way, if you bring your partner, you catch it from your own partner, I'll have nothing to do with it.
That's y'all, yeah. What about signing a waiver?
That would be something to look into. That would be okay. But if a person come to class, they're willing to accept the risk. That's obvious. That's obvious. They're willing to accept the risk, and they may not feel the risk is that bad. So come to class and be who you are. So a lot of our issues come from the training that policemen have. They're trained to say get on the ground. When
they talk about defunding the police, what do you think about that?
You will wind up with a police state. You want to defund the police because they're going to get their funds, and they'll wind up getting their funds by people they stop. You, me. They'll wind up getting their money.
Okay.
And they'll wind up with more quotas than they ever had.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I do think, in my opinion on this real quick, is that I would like to see more money going into some of the other stuff so policemen won't have to. I was looking at Angela Rye, and she was saying how they call the police for everything, for mental health people, call the police. A little boy won't sit down at school, call the police. When there
Here's the
should be.
question. Here's the question. Check
Okay.
this out.
Okay.
What makes you a policeman? The fact that you went through the training, or the fact that you wear a gun? I mean, you got countries that the policemen don't have guns. They go on calls, domestic calls, et cetera, et cetera. Why don't just say, hey, leave gun? No guns. Well, they don't even need guns. Depending on what their assignment is, what do they need a gun for? A traffic cop don't need a gun.
Don't need a gun.
And to say, well, you don't know what the guy is going to do that you walk up to, you don't know if he's going to have a gun. So you shouldn't do the job. Get off the job. It's 3 jobs that you should probably not do if you're afraid of getting hurt. An astronaut, a submarine person, or a policeman. Because the chances of you getting hurt is pretty high. So just, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. The badge is what makes you a policeman, not the gun. Leave the gun at home.
Yeah. Okay.
Andy Griffin did it.
So stupid. It's so stupid.
Andy Griffin did it.
You are so silly. Let me make sure I got everything I need to ask you, Mr. Tim, since I got you here. Is there anything else in regards to the dance that you would like to say? I
want to say Rodney was a major motivator for me when I came to Houston. I really appreciate that guy. I really appreciate him. Smooth, major motivator for me when I came to Houston.
Smooth.
When I Smooth and Fancy Dancer.
Oh, see, I call him Mr. Lee.
When I needed somebody to talk to or to vent at about the opposition that I was facing, those 2 guys were there for me.
Wow.
They were there.
Okay, that's wonderful. Liddell brought up Rodney the other day as well, and said, that cat there, people don't say that much, but you got to give Rodney his props for what he offered to the dance community. What you're saying during this, let me just go and say this. Through this entire interview, I know that you don't want to put the spotlight on certain people, so that's not the intent, but the intent is that we have to give people, hey, you did a good job.
You're going to make me put it anyway? Rodney, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Not just him, but
yeah, it's a lot of people did a great job.
I can go way across the line, and shucks, JR and them helped me out a lot later on in the business. But you know what? I remember them even sending people to the class.
Okay.
Yeah, they said we need the class to get bigger, man. They sent people to the class.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, see, I didn't know that.
We had some support. We really did have some support, but we also had some opposition.
I know someone we forgot to mention.
Who's
your
that?
your co-instructor. The first one, Ashley.
Go Ashley. Go
Ashley.
Go Ashley. She was the greatest. You want to talk about the dance changing? Ashley brought the West Coast whip appeal or stylish to the dance. She did a lot to it. I got to give her props. She gets 10 points from me.
Yeah, thank you.
It's probably 1,000 people out that we don't say.
Yeah.
But that don't mean they didn't contribute.
Absolutely.
And they really did.
Absolutely.
Every instructor, I don't care whether you came from me, somebody else, somebody here, you were a major contribution to what Swing Out is in the Houston area today.
Wonderful.
That's that.
Well, Tim.
Wow.
Whatever.
I took a deep breath. Let me get rid of this guy.
You have been my most difficult interviewee.
Is that right? You should have known that. You should have knew that.
But that's okay, because I'm here for the challenge. That's what it's for. I do have to say this though, and this is not negative. I'm just asking because I deal with it too. For a dance instructor who may be dealing with oppositions, what advice, not from then, but the Tim today, what advice would you give that person?
Just keep driving. Just keep going. Just keep going. Go around. Don't even give it any attention. Keep going.
How do you do that?
That's what leaders do.
Oh, okay.
That's what leaders do. We keep moving.
you do believe in having someone there to be your sounding board, like to be able to.
You're gonna need that. You will definitely need that when you get in opposition in the community. Let me put it this way: we got the Chicago Steppers are making a move across the nation, trying to increase their clientele. Embrace that. That's what makes good dancers. The more dance you know, the better you dance. And let's think about it. How would you feel if you had an opportunity to learn Chicago stepping, and all of a sudden you're 65 and you just lost your leg, and you never learned? Come on now, you could have did. You could have learned. Now you're gonna be out there hopping trying to learn. That was supposed to be a joke. I'm not good at joking. I'm not good at joking. That's what that was. I'm not good at jokes, but that's what that was. But
we get it. We get it. You were trying to make a joke.
Yeah, I was trying.
All right. I give you 5 for trying.
You get 5? Can I get one more?
It was only a 5, babe. But anyway, so I thank you for that. I wanted to make sure I brought that because there are some times that, as instructors, promoters, all of that, we kind of get to a point to where it's like, why am I doing this? Is anybody appreciating? And not necessarily what you're doing. I don't want to sound selfish, but you know what I mean.
Well, let me say something to you, Trina. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm on the telephone with you. I'm on this radio show with you.
You're on chat with Trina. You're on chat with Trina.
I'm on chat with Trina with you because this is a major contribution to the dance. You could go back to City to City, all the websites that was developed and built since then.
Brigida's on the call.
Yeah.
Brigida's on here now.
Who's on?
Brigida.
She's on the call now?
Yeah, she's on the call.
Another one of the first. All of those promotion things were major contributions to this. In fact, without them, they pulled us together. Because you may have one city here and one city there, but Brigida, for example, she connected us all together. Without that connection, we'd have just been a neighborhood over there, a neighborhood over there. She was a connection point. And she know that DFW Swing website did a lot of connecting, and the fact that
Brigida says hi.
I said hello, and that the dance that she had on a consistent basis for quite a while, it brought everybody together. Without that, the motivation would have died off.
Yeah. And it got pretty hard for us. But something, what I will say, me and Brigida, I think out of all the promoters in here was 1, 2, 3, 4, it was about 4, maybe 5 of us. Brigida and I have stuck together, and we still get out there and do our thing. So you want to dance and DFW, we laugh sometimes about it and be like, man, we still hanging in here, But it gets hard sometimes. It gets hard. Oh. But what I'll say about Dallas before we get off this call is that they hold her down. They hold her down. That's their princess. That's their queen. And that's something that I appreciate about Dallas and how they uplift her. Matter of fact, everybody knows it. You probably don't, but the award I got for my contributions with So You Want to Dance, guess who gave it to me?
Brigida did.
Brigida.
I give her 10 more.
From one promoter to the next. That just tells you what kind of person she is.
She get 10 on 10.
She didn't feel threatened by me, and I didn't feel threatened by her, and so we've been able to accomplish an awesome friendship. We don't talk every day, every week, every month, but when we do talk, it's that. But Tim, she does work in human resources
for the dance community.
She was. Oh, that's what she does for a living too. Brigida.
Hello. Y'all calling me HR Dance. That is too funny.
Yes, sir. Human resources for the dance. That's what human resources do. Make sure everybody's on the same page, and that's what you did throughout the community without us even knowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, without us even.
I appreciate you, Tim. I graduated. I graduated from you and Al Dillard at Club Ice. You remember that, right?
Know that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, I graduated from Tim class. It was him and Al Dillard at Club Ice.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Yeah. Have you talked to Al lately?
I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him in a minute.
No, I haven't. That's all.
But I'll tell y'all, Houston Bayou is working on a reunion. Well, before the COVID came, they were working on a reunion. So
you got the reunion lady right there with you.
I know we gonna all pull it together. Well, they working on one, and we got to get it out there. Brigida, you heard what I told him, that I had to come to Dallas and get my award.
That's right.
And how great how we hang in there together.
That's right.
We're the Lone Rangers.
But Trina, it was overdue. It was overdue.
I appreciate it. I appreciated that.
Because you've done a lot for the Houston dance community. So we from DFW wanted to appreciate you.
I definitely appreciate it. I'll never forget that. And I laugh because I said y'all got the ugly cry out of me.
That's all right.
Ugly cry. But okay, Brigida, I'm gonna mute you so I can finish off with Tim. Thank you, Brigida, for talking.
That's all right. Love you.
Love you. Tim.
I just Brigida.
So Tim, we're gonna end, and I thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
I can go eat now?
No.
Oh.
You can go eat, but thank you again. We love you here. When the reunion comes, we're gonna need you to come down.
I'm with you. I'll be in the crowd.
We can dance. Matter of fact, we're gonna act like it's your birthday, and we're gonna let you dance with the birthday dance. You're gonna go everybody. See how many of your students, your former students and stuff?
I'm old.
All right.
I make it about one or two songs. But
where y'all eating at? I know that place.
Oh, you can't see that? Red
Hot and Blue. Oh no, never heard that. But anyway, Tim, love you. Thank you for all that you've done. You don't want to accept it, but thank you for all you've done. We love you. See you later. Be safe.
And thank you too, Trina.
You're welcome. Bye.
All righty, Tim, go ahead and join your family and grab you something to eat. I know you were starving to death. I wish I was there to join you too. But hey, I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit and chat with Trina tonight. Also, thank you. Thank you so much from me and from the bottom of my heart for giving me my happy place, the Houston dance community. We really appreciate all of your contributions, your vision, and your strategic mind. We definitely appreciate you, and we thank you for everything that you did to make the dance community what it is today. Okay, guys, don't forget, I need 200 more subscribers. That's my goal by August 31st. So please go to youtube.com/chatwithtrina, hit that little red subscribe button, and then that little bell, hit that too so that you can be notified of when I upload a new video. Thanks. Love your support. I appreciate all of y'all, and I love all of y'all, and there's nothing you can do about it.